everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I wanted to try out some express nails using CJP Bob, which is a brush on builder gel, and their new full tips. They're press on tips. Obviously, you know, since lockdown there's been like a wave of people doing press on nails for clients. So I wondered how this would kind of hold up together, almost like, you know, the Apres system that came around. And I know the tips are different there because these are actually like plastic tips. But they're so sturdy and so strong, so I thought I would give them a go. So these here are the coffin tips. They're just one sort of length, I would say long length. And then I'm going to show you the stiletto tips, which is what we're going to use today. So these are the stiletto tips here. Beautiful shape, nice curve to them, and they are so strong. I'm sure they feel just like the other tips that you get in all the other systems. I just want to say again that they're not actually sold like this. They're not for this purpose, but I just thought, why not give it a go? Because it's a very good, cheap alternative, and Bob is like the perfect builder in a bottle. He is like soft gel, but so strong and sturdy. You can like sculpt with him, encapsulate with him, and he just have other sisters, so there are nudes as well available in the collection. So what I'm doing here is I'm just sizing up the tips, making sure that the ones I choose for the correct shape of my nail, so they fit from sidewall to sidewall and they're not hanging over or anything like that. And if you get one that's a little bit small and the next one's a little bit too big, you can kind of just go ahead and file them and adjust them to your shape. But I didn't need to do that with any of these, which was good. So I just went ahead and sized them all up. That one I found just draped over just a little bit too much, so I bent back with the size 8 and just checked again that it was a nice fit. And then we're going to go ahead and get the thumbnail. So now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and just take this e-file bit and just file the inside of the tips. This is just like I don't know, it's like a cross-cut bit or something like that. It's from Chrissy Pierce, and it's basically like a brushed, it's like a sandman but in ceramic. Is that right? Ceramic? Carbide, not sure. Anyway, whatever. So it's just really, really soft. There's no teeth on it. It's not going to take off, because remember, these are plastic, and we don't want to file off too much, because then you just make them weak. So then, because these are quite narrow, the tips are more narrow, I'm just using this pointy bit as well, just to get right in there and just make some little etches in there, because obviously the gel won't stick if it's a smooth surface. So I'm just showing you here that I've took the bottom off of my CJP lamp, just so that I can kind of, when I'm holding it myself to get the gel to set, that I can just kind of dangle it off my lamp and just pop it under, so I'm not having to break an arm just to cure the tips. So I'm going to go ahead and just dehydrate the nail now. So I'm using the brush on dehydrator. And I have already prepped all of my nails off film, so I've done all my usual prep work before I would do any acrylic or gel or anything like that. So make sure you've done all your cuticle work, etch the nail plates and so on. And then I'm just doing dehydrator, and now we're going to do a really thin base layer of Bob. And then I'm going to cure this in the lamp for 30 seconds. So really thin, brush it right into your nail. You don't want it thick at all here. I was just taking some excess gel off my brush there and just going back in to really burnish that into my nail. And then again, I'm going to stick that in the lamp for 30 seconds. So when that comes out of the lamp, I'm going to take the thumb tip. I'm going to take a small amount of bob. You don't want a lot. I don't want to overflow it and flood all our cuticles. So just really brushing the gel on into the crevices that we've created. And then I just kind of scrape off a little bit of excess on the very tip, on the very end, the cuticle area. And then as you can see here, I'm placing it on at the cuticle, right up to the cuticle, and then I'm pressing it down so all the bubbles and the gel goes to the tip and there are no bubbles or any gaps at all left on that nail plate. And then I will hold it in the lamp for about 10 seconds, then you can let go and then give it like a 30-second cure just to keep it in place. And then obviously when you've finished all of the nails, you can go in and do all of the nails on a full 60-second cure. If it makes you feel better, you can do it at 60 seconds the first time. It's just up to you how quick you want to get them done. So again, I'm going to go on the nail with a small thin base layer of bob, and I'll cure this in the lamp for 30 seconds. I did just realise watching this that I didn't dehydrate that nail. It would be a good idea to do that just before you apply each bit of gel. But again, I did say already my nails have already been prepped and cleaned, but I just thought that's a nice added step. So again, we're just putting that thin layer of bob, taking a little bit of excess off the cuticle area, really placing it right into the cuticle at that angle where I can then pull it down. The gel kind of runs up to the tip and I can see there's no air bubbles, and then I'll put that under the lamp to cure. And I'm just going to repeat the process on all of the nails. I think I only show you this last one nail now because obviously it is a bit repetitive. But I just do the exact same thing on all of the nails. So thin layer of bob, cure for 30 seconds. Put some gel in the tip. So it will take a little bit of practice probably knowing how much gel to put on. You don't want to put not enough because then it just won't really cure and be secure. But you don't want to put too much that you're going to flood all your skin and cuticle area. So again, placing it on, almost sticking it in the cuticle area and then just pulling it downwards, pressing, putting quite a lot of pressure on that. And then I'll pop that underneath the lamp, start curing for 10 seconds. And just like that, voila, the whole set is done. So I'm taking this bit again, and just any gel that may have seeped out of the top, you can just go ahead and file that away so there's no sort of ridge. But again, just be careful when you're filing and stuff because you don't want to take off too much or put any holes or anything like that or make the tips weak. And then I'm going to go back to that cross-cut bit that we used a minute ago and just etch over all of the nails. So what I do with this bit is I go around the cuticle and sidewalls just to make sure there's no product on the skin or anything like that. And then I'll just gently go over the whole entire surface of the nail on all of the nails just to remove the surface shine because I'm going in with gel polish. So if you were going to do acrylic on top of these, then you wouldn't need to etch it because acrylic will stick anyway. But gel needs that etching on sort of shiny, soft surfaces, especially plastic and stuff like that. So I'm just etching over them, and then we'll go ahead and wipe over with some acetone just to kind of melt it just a little bit, that top surface layer, so our gel will sit nicely on there. So once they're all done, I'll clean them, and again, like I said, we're just going to wipe over with some acetone. Not a lot, you don't want to saturate the nails. I'm just literally wiping over with a with a small amount, just so that I kind of melt that surface that we've etched. So there's no sort of like lumps or bits or anything like that. So you can see that it's not running, it's not wet all on my finger. We're just kind of melting that very, very top surface. And then I'm going to go in with this beautiful colour, and it's called On the Rocks, and it's definitely one of my favourites. For me personally, I love the darker shades. I do love light shades, I love peaches and stuff, but I am a sucker for sort of these darker, deep mauvey colours. And I would say that in acrylic equivalent to On the Rocks would be CJP Clay. Very, very similar colours. Both beautiful. So I'm just going to do a thin layer first, cure that for 60 seconds, go in with a second coat, cure that for 60 seconds, and then I'll go in with CJP Time to Shine top coat. So this is the end of our second layer. We're going to cure that in the lamp again for 60 seconds. You can see how beautiful and opaque that colour is. Just making sure that it all looks and is settling nicely on that tip. And then I'll cure that in the lamp for 60 seconds. And now CJP Time to Shine, which is my new favourite top coat of theirs. It is thicker than the top gloss, and you can apply a nice generous amount to that, which I do here. Not too much, obviously you don't want to flood the nail. So I'm just going to apply that, nice thin down the centre, thin it out along the sides. And because, like I said, it is a thicker top coat, I'm just going to, before I put that in the lamp, God, I can't talk. I'm going to flip my hand upside down and just kind of let that settle in the centre, and then flick it back over and cure in the lamp for 60 seconds. And that's them finished. So I'm going to go in and apply cuticle oil. This is my favourite, I love it. And then that is the end. I will do an update. Any little update I will keep in touch so that you know how well they're lasting. But they feel so strong and sturdy. I love how they don't kind of bend downwards or anything like that. I think the shape is perfect, and they're not too sharp either. So far so good. I will keep you updated. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all keeping safe and well, and I will see you all again in my next video. Bye.